What's going on, everyone? So this NBA offseason is going to be quite interesting given Donovan Mitchell. What is he going to do? Right? Got a lot of conflicting reports, like Donovan Mitchell, according to Cavs, they believe that they're going to extend him, that Donovan Mitchell is going to stick around and he is going to stick with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And there's even reports that they're hesitant to trade Jared Allen because Donovan Mitchell is so close to Allen and wants to keep Allen. But they've had this belief for basically since they signed or traded for him, right? That they would be able to re-sign him and that they're confident that'll be the case. You never really know, right? Now we're in the time where teams are able to start negotiating with their, free agents and, work out extensions and stuff like that. So I'm sure Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs are already in the process of trying to hash things out. What are you going to do? What do you want? You want the max? We'll give it to you type thing. So it's going to be kind of interesting. I'm sure that the Cavs are going to also sit down with Donovan Mitchell and say, are you okay if we trade Jared Allen, try to upgrade the roster? Darius Garland, he potentially might want out. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of discussions of them kind of weighing their options. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, if there is that inclination of like, hey, I'm done. I'm not going to stick around. I'm not going to re-sign. Well, then the Cavs have to look to trade Donovan Mitchell. But the Cleveland Cavaliers did get some good news, right? And that is the New York Knicks, according to reports, are basically out on Donovan Mitchell. They're no longer interested in Donovan Mitchell. Based on the report, the ship has sailed, which makes sense now. Because you have to remember, the Knicks were very interested in Donovan Mitchell. The Knicks believed that they were going to get Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell thought he was going to the Knicks. I mean, he was like sitting courtside in Madison Square Garden and stuff like that. Like, it was wild, right? But Donovan Mitchell really believed that he was going to the Knicks, and then the Cavs came in and swooped in. But if the Knicks are out on Donovan Mitchell, then does that kind of put the Cavs in a better position to where it's like, hey, the one place you wanted to go no longer wants you. So it's like, you might as well stay here. You might as well stay in the East. Because, the East, you got to keep in mind, like, the East is a lot easier than the West, right? You're looking at Boston, obviously. They just won the NBA championship, and they very well could repeat next year. But then beyond Boston, it's like, okay, we got to see what the Sixers do. And then you got to see what the New York Knicks, right? Do they lose OG? That could really hurt the Knicks, right? There's talks about OG testing free agency, that he's not happy with kind of the offers that the Knicks are giving him, that he wants the max. Knicks are reluctant to give him the max, right? So they're outside of that, it's kind of like you're in basically the thick of the rest, right? And you could trade Darius Garland. You could trade, Jared Allen. You could potentially move some guys, kind of upgrade the roster if you wanted to, and maybe put some better pieces around Donovan Mitchell, or pieces that maybe fit and make more sense around Donovan Mitchell to where you could have some more success. So the Knicks being out of the equation, I think, really does benefit the Cavs. However, there have been reports for a while that Donovan Mitchell wants a big market. And the reports were, hey, he wants to go to the Knicks, but if he can't go to the Knicks, he wants to go to the Lakers. And if that's the case, then the Cavs could be in trouble, right? Because, yes, there's talks and reports like, hey, Dan Gilbert, he's not going to trade Donovan Mitchell to the Lakers because of LeBron and all that stuff. He might not have a choice. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to run the risk of losing Donovan Mitchell for nothing just to spite LeBron? Or, that's just not a good look. You gave up a bunch of assets to go get him. You're still going to get a good return, right? And you still could potentially use the pieces that you get from the Lakers to maybe go trade for a piece to complement Darius Garland more, right? Like, so to me, I think if Donovan Mitchell really does want to go to the Lakers, then I think that he'll end up being a Laker. But I think it's incredibly slim, if I'm being honest, right? I think the only way that Donovan Mitchell becomes a Laker is if he basically pulls an Anthony Davis and what he did to become a Laker, where you had teams like Boston and all these various teams that were interested and willing to trade for Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis was like, "Hey, I can't stop you for trading for me, but if you do, I'm just letting you know I'm leaving in the offseason." And you could maybe look at it and go, well, look at what Toronto did with Kawhi, taking a flyer, but Kawhi Leonard at the time was the best two-way player in the league. and a top 3 to 5 player at worst. Like Donovan Mitchell is an excellent player, but he's not, top 3 to 5 and elite two-way guy, right? Donovan Mitchell is an incredible player, incredible playoff performer, but it also makes a lot of sense for Donovan Mitchell to go to a bigger market. Also, he'd be playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, where, that's the best talent he's ever played with, right? Like, even remove LeBron from the equation, right? Because LeBron eventually is going to leave the Lakers, right? Whether it's this offseason or, which I think if the Lakers were to land Donovan Mitchell, I definitely think LeBron sticks around. But, even post LeBron, whenever that becomes a thing, Anthony Davis alone is by far the best player Donovan Mitchell has ever played with, right? So you not only have an immediate opportunity to play with two guys that would take so much pressure off of you, put you in a position to go win an NBA championship, but even after LeBron leaves, you still have Anthony Davis, and you and Anthony Davis would be, a top duo in the league, wherever they rank. It depends on how they work well together, but there's no argument that they would be one of the better duos in the league. And then the Lakers, if they could put the complementary pieces around them, you could be contending for championships for years, right? Now, there's a lot of young teams coming up, but Donovan Mitchell, if he can, continue to play to the level in which he's shown over the years, and then Anthony Davis, the Lakers would be in good shape, and so would Donovan Mitchell. But if Donovan Mitchell's open to basically any other team, then I think it's really slim, because the Lakers the Lakers have assets to go and trade. Like, I think the Lakers could land a DeJounte Murray. I think the Lakers could land even potentially a Trae Young, because I think Trae's market is going to be so incredibly thin. I just think that there's not going to be many teams that want Trae. But somebody like Donovan Mitchell, I think there'd be several teams that would be open to Donovan Mitchell. He's also not making as much money as a guy like Trae. He will once you have to give him a new extension. But to trade for him, you're talking about in the 30s as opposed to in the 40s. So that's it's basically $10 million difference. And so I just think that if a team like Brooklyn, who's been linked to Donovan Mitchell, right? If he's kind of like, well, I can't go to the Knicks, but hey, I'm open to going to the Brooklyn Nets, well, then now I just think that the Lakers are in trouble, because now it just makes it really hard. And if the Lakers get into a bidding war, I just don't think that they have that just, rich as far as assets go to be able to pull that off. Or if a team like, the Thunder come in, right? Like, Thunder could outbid everybody just for fun, just for kicks, right? Like, and especially the Lakers. So to me, it's just like, what does Donovan Mitchell want? Because he's the one that's going to hold all the cards, right? He's the one that's going to have a lot of say and a lot of power, because he could leave, right? So, if a team like Brooklyn is like, hey, we'll basically sell the farm to go get you, and he's like, hey, I'm not going to stick around. I don't think me and Mikal Bridges are enough to win a championship or whatever, even in the East. Well, then now it's like, all right, well, are we really going to go trade and take the risk that he leaves? And the Lakers, they could, like, if LeBron knows Donovan Mitchell's coming, then he could just sign a 1+1 and then opt out, and then the Lakers could just work it out to go get Donovan. But there's always ways to figure it out, right? Like, you could always work it out to go get Donovan Mitchell, right? And unload guys and trade guys. And, also that team would be open for, like, if Brooklyn were to trade and they were going to lose them, they'd rather get something than lose them for nothing. So you could always work out a sign and trade or whatever, right? There's options, right? So if Donovan Mitchell wants to go to the Lakers, he'll end up a Laker. But if he wants to go anywhere else, that's where I think things really get complicated. So, there's again, Donovan holds all the cards. It's up to him. What does he want to do? Does he want to be in Cleveland? If he wants to stay with the Cavs, then, he'll re-sign the deal, and there you go, right? But if he's like, hey, I want to go to a bigger market or a team that I feel I can win more now with, or whatever, right? Because Donovan Mitchell is only getting older. There is, been some injury concerns. He might look at it as like, I'd like to be in the best position possible. If he thinks that that's a team like the Lakers, well, then he's probably going to a team like the Lakers. But I do think the Knicks not being involved and basically removing themselves, assuming the report's true, right? But I think that them basically removing themselves from the conversation, I think benefits the Cavs a ton because that's the one place he wanted to go, that Cleveland knows he really wanted to go, that everyone knew he really wanted to go. Now, question is, does that also benefit the Lakers? Because if the other reports were true, that he basically wants to go to either the Knicks or the Lakers as a big market team, well then, if the Knicks remove themselves, then it's, okay, well then it's the Lakers. Then he's going to want to go to Lakers, and then he could potentially force his way and push his way to the Lakers. So it's going to be interesting, right? It's going to be a fun and very interesting offseason. It's not counting whoever else potentially becomes available, right? So anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Do you think that Donovan Mitchell sticks with the Cleveland Cavaliers? Do you think that, no, he's going to go to a team like the Brooklyn Nets? Or do you have another team in mind that you think makes a lot of sense for Donovan Mitchell? Do you think, he's heading to the Lakers, he's going to the Lakers? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.